Lord forgive me for this trap shit. Sergeant Smack make it backflip. Telly Hank did with the action. With the Vato speaking Spanish. Frank Matthews how I vanish. Poof. Came back like I'm King Tut. Gold BBS is on a beamer. When Fat Cat was 10 queens up. Ball off the profit, not the re-up. Fly like Puerto Rican Jesus. Uptown like I'm Baby May. Just caught a touchdown from the Bay.
On March 18th, 2025, of all people, Kanye West would stir up shockwaves across gossip blogs and online hip-hop sites with a blunt post on X saying, after listening to Cardi's album, I'ma say something I never thought I would say. Future's washed. He would follow that up with something that sounded even wilder, claiming that he himself had the ability to unwash Future, suggesting that any decline that he was sensing, he could reverse it. And in the days, weeks, and months that followed, the conversation would ripple across Reddit threads, Facebook posts, hip-hop forums, and TikTok videos dissecting his latest verses. Some would argue Kanye had simply said what others were quietly thinking. And yet, for most, the notion seemed almost sacrilegious. Future's run from Monster to DS2, from Hendrix to High Off Life, was dominant and genre-defining, almost reshaping the entire sound of his city with a blend of vulnerability, addiction, and swagger like nobody else before him. So to call it over feels not only premature, but almost unimaginable. But still, if that shift were happening, if Future is truly slipping into decline, it would be impossible not to ask how much of it would be tied to the sudden loss of a longtime friend, collaborator, and possible ally who lost his life just 10 days after that Kanye tweet.
Well, they sent messages of love to young Scooter. They also thanked the hundreds of people that packed the park today to honor his life. This is the very first time that his mother, his brother, and his children came out to honor his life since he was killed last week. Now, whether it was his fans or his friends or even prominent people in the entertainment industry, their message was the same. Scooter should still be here.
Live from behind the bars is the homie, my brother, Young Scooter. What's up, homie?
What's going on with it, son?
Everything definitely good to hear your voice. You know the streets missing you out here.
Yeah, appreciate that. Gotta salute the street.
Definitely, man. So any word on when you're going to be touching back down? You know, everybody's been definitely hitting us here at Hood Rich Radio trying to figure out, you know, when Scooter coming home and that big, he back home.
Wow.
That's dope.
That's dope. Now, have you ever really been to Columbia? Not South Carolina, but the actual Columbia and the...
I'm a convicted felon. I can't go nowhere.
You on probation parole now?
Yeah.
For what?
They know you here?
Nah.
Oh,
school,
stop it, stop
that ain't gonna turn out well, man.
I ain't got but 8 months left.
Oh, yeah, so far. But what are you on probation for?
I don't want to talk about it.
You ain't got nothing on your ankle, do you?
It's done and over with now, right?
Trafficking.
Trafficking.
Okay. Oh, you might have just left Columbia for real.
Streets Lottery nigga, yeah, Street Lottery nigga about to come at livemixtapes.com. I'm telling you, free band game about to turn up. Street Lottery shit, nigga, this shit about to be a movie, nigga. I feel like this about to be a classic for Scooter. You know what I'm saying? This is one of them mixtapes I look at, I listen to, I be like, damn. It's just one of those mixtapes when I be, nigga, I zone out. It's like it's that point of his career where I feel like, nigga, he, musically, he winning. But you know, when you're going through shit with your personal life, it's like you get a chance to be able to go to the studio and just really get those feelings and those emotions out. And I mean, all the songs that I'm hearing from him just remind me of when just nigga, that real shit where you gotta be in that zone. You can never get this time back to just keep recording. I'm like, man, just keep recording because you get some crazy shit out. You can hear it in his voice. Like the titles and the songs, the shit he got. Like, nigga, this shit so deep. And I know it's a classic because it's just like you can't get these moments. But after this shit, nigga, it's on the road. You know what I'm saying? He on the tours. But at this time, it's like when you in the music, but you still got one foot in, one foot out. It's like you creating music that you can't get that shit. It's priceless.
When Street Lottery dropped on New Year's Day in 2013, it really felt like young Scooter had finally hit his moment, arguably his most complete and impactful body of work to this day. XXL would label the project armed with an infectious chorus and his most focused writing, while BET would compare him to people like Pusha T and Young Jeezy, writing Scooter foregoes wordplay and punchlines, opting instead to focus on raw verbiage to paint a picture of a warlike daily routine, while outlets like Truance would go on to praise the project, pointing out his distinctive voice, writing that he cuts through the beat with a suppressed sing-song swing. But the tape's rise wasn't organic. It was carried by a hit song, Columbia, a street anthem that was so powerful, its remix would attract heavyweights like Rick Ross, Gucci Mane, and Birdman, with that hit song helping to turn Street Lottery into one of the most talked about mixtape projects of that year. And to many people, it might have seemed like young Scooter's debut, but that wasn't really the truth. He would have already released 2 projects, and just 2 years prior to that, he was the most featured artist on Dirty Sprite, the mixtape that would break Future into mainstream. And while that project wasn't even Future's debut, it was his breakout moment, just like Street Lottery would be for young Scooter. And Scooter's presence on 3 tracks, only tied with Rocco, Future's CEO at the time, spoke volumes on a track list filled with known names like 2 Chainz, Travis Porter, and Twister. Scooter was pretty much the least known face, but his presence on the project wasn't based on industry buzz. It was based on real ties. And as Street Lottery would begin to catch fire, eventually landing on Spin Magazine's list of the 40 best hip-hop albums of 2013, it seemed as if it was about to become young Scooter's time. But just as he was finally stepping into the light, he would be arrested in Atlanta for driving on a suspended license, which would trigger a probation violation that would send him to jail at the very height of his rise. And that moment would say everything, not about young Scooter, but about young Scooter's career. Because after his death, if you asked the average rap fan, they'd probably say that young Scooter just couldn't leave the streets. And to be honest, maybe they would be right, because unlike his predecessor, Future, as well as 90 to 95% of the rappers who build their styles off melodies, punchlines, and layered flows, young Scooter didn't really do all of that. What fueled the words that he recorded was reality, the day-to-day rules of survival, that warlike routine that BET described when talking about Street Lottery. It wasn't just about what he was saying, it was how close he really was to it. And maybe if he wasn't that close to the streets, he wouldn't have been able to give you that feeling that you was right there in the trap with him, where losing everything and becoming a millionaire felt like one decision apart.
But speaking of paraphernalia, who can eyeball Perk better, you or Gorilla Zoe?
perp, like the weed?
Yeah.
Me. I'm trying to say, I'm on weed. Ain't no in the rap game. Maybe Scooter. The only nigga I can say that Mike can get with me like that is Scooter.
Was G.G. Yola telling the truth when he said he saw you turn an ounce into 50,000 in 20 seconds?
Kinda. It wasn't just a little ounce, but damn, you know what?
That's a Slump exclusive.
Damn. That's
all he got doing.
You remember when I just said Scooter, right? Me and Scooter did like that before. Yeah. We did that, bro. We had some rabbit food, and it was like, that's crazy. But yep, he seen it. It was like 2 ounces, and we made down there $40,000 up, 50,000. We made exactly 50K off of it.
God damn.
We both made 25 a piece. We gave Yola 2,500 a piece. So Yola made 5,000 just for being there.
Damn.
See what I'm saying? Hold on, you fool. Another free 10 today. Remember yesterday I had on the gray and red. This is different clothes. This is another money. Yeah. This ain't even old 10. It really 83. Yeah. So 10. And then how many days we done went through in that month? Hold up. Add that shit up. Count up. 19. So look, I done made 190,000. I'm working on Sunday. On Christ's Day. Yeah. I know. Part 2 of 20 stacks. Man, street lottery, like, if you broke, I'ma always say this: go get a young Scooter City, you'll get a set. Street lottery is definitely the jackpot. Showing they gotta get some money, you know what I'm saying? Every song teach you to get money, talking about a different situation, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just strictly street lottery. Everything about the streets you wanna know, listen to street lottery, you can hit, you know what I'm saying?
Some people are saying you got next. Like, how you feeling, man?
Keep recording, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing but the street. I've been in the streets every day, so it's easy for me when you rapping like. When you rapping the truth, it's easy, you know what I'm saying? When you gotta sit down and think. So I don't write music, like I don't sit down and write. I come out first thing in my head, I say it, you know what I'm saying? So I say it's so easy for me, and I'm rapping my life because I'm in the streets every day.
Getting on all future projects, like if you go back and listen to all future projects, I'm on 3-4 songs. Like Dirty Sprite, One Thing, all of them.
Yo, that what really made you just like.
I'm
gonna tell you the song that made you go up like that. To me was Winning.
Yeah.
That's like my favorite song in the world. And I was like, man, Scooter on all them songs.
Yeah.
It's like, boy, that combination right there, Future and Scooter, that was the winning combination. I feel like you and Future though is like a match made in heaven, bro. It's like y'all two together. That's a 2-on-2 that, you know what I mean, that can't be almost reckoned with. It's just they sound together.
Yeah.
Cause Future like Michael Jackson, you know, in the game, but then Scooter just so street and so just, you know, it's just so street that it make Future more street. You know what I mean? To me, that's what it sounds like when I hear them together.
A while back, when I was working on the Pee Wee Longway story, I didn't try to frame it as a story about a rapper choosing the streets over the industry. It was more about the reality that some artists simply aren't positioned to walk away, whereas Pee Wee didn't seem like he had the kind of corporate support structure to make that move easily and, more importantly, possible. There was no record labels or executives lining up to fund tours, no marketing team campaigning for playlist spots on Rap Caviar or Apple Music's The Rap Life. He moved independently without the machine. And young Scooter moved similarly. Low visibility, no major push, no industry campaign really behind him. But the difference is he really didn't have to. Scooter, unlike Pee Wee, has something few rappers ever get direct access to one of the most iconic artists of his era, Future. Not just a collaborator or a label mate, he was arguably Future's closest ally. So unless you just came home from being put up for 10 to 15 calendars, you would absolutely know that Future isn't just successful, he was dominant. And for the past decade or so, I would have to say he's been in the top 3 conversation in all of hip hop when it comes to hit making. And in certain of those years, he was possibly number 1. And even beyond that, he is the architect of the entire wave that have come to represent Atlanta, that street-rooted, melodic, emotionally layered sound that has been universally imitated. He was the bridge, the gatekeeper, and the machine. So if he really wanted to, he could have probably walked Scooter into any room, Epic, Interscope, or even have helped him possibly set up his own nationwide tour. Or better yet, he could have stepped into the studio on any given day and laid down 5 of those masterful hooks he has become known for, the kind that turn street tapes into anthems and mixtape cuts into chart contenders. Given how often it looked like they were together, it's hard not to imagine how many of those moments could have happened and how easy that could have shifted the doors wide open. But Scooter would never walk through. A lot of people would look at Future and assume that he probably didn't do enough. But when you study how Scooter would carry himself, the absence of interviews, the long gaps between projects, and the fact that he was never seen unless he wanted you to see him, it kind of tells a different story. Because the way rappers are viewed these days, often as unauthentic, in my eyes, I don't even think young Scooter ever wanted to be a rapper.
I think you guys should get here quick because this girl he's really hitting her, and it's a child involved. This girl doesn't have on any clothes. They threw her outside. He was fighting the girl.
The first being from the 200 block of William Nye Drive. In Zone 3, officers responded to a dispute with a weapon. It was advised in the call remarks that shots were fired and a female was dragged back into the location. Once officers arrived, they knocked on the door. A male opened the door and immediately shut the door on the officers. The officers then established a perimeter. During the process of establishing the perimeter, 2 males fled out of the rear of the house. 1 male returned back into the house. The other male jumped 2 fences as he was fleeing. When officers located him on the other side of the fence, he appeared to have suffered an injury to his leg. Officers rendered aid and he was transported to Grady Hospital where he was pronounced deceased. That male is going to be a 39-year-old male out of Atlanta. Just to be very clear, the injury that was sustained was not via the officers on scene. It was when the male was fleeing.
We turn now to that breaking news in Atlanta. Police say the 911 call that led to the death of rapper Young Scooter was a lie. Police arrested the woman who made that 911 call earlier tonight.
Fox 5's Tom Haynes joins us with the details. Tom, what are we finding out?
Well, startling development considering the context of that call, Courtney and Russ. Atlanta police officers say that took the 31-year-old Demetria Spence into custody within the last few hours. Investigators now say that 911 call led to the death of 39-year-old rapper Young Scooter. This all started Friday in southeast Atlanta, where investigators say Spence told 911 operators there was something seriously wrong at a home on William Nye Drive. In audio obtained by Fox 5, Spence claims a woman with a child was bleeding and shots were fired. Police now say Spence made that call from a 911 only phone, and it was a lie. When officers got to the home, they say the two men ran out the back door. One of those men was rapper Young Scooter, whose real name is Kenneth Bailey. Police say Bailey injured himself jumping over a fence, and today the medical examiner ruled Bailey died from a penetrating injury to his right thigh. They say that his death was accidental. APD has stressed that social media posts claim Bailey was shot by officers. Well, that's false. The department has insisted no officers fired their weapons at the scene. Demetria Spence is now charged with transmitting a false public alarm. She's being held in the Fulton County Jail. Meantime, APD has not provided a motive for that call. But in the aftermath of what happened after that call was placed, someone wound up losing their life.
Eternal God, our Father, we thank you for another day, another hour. You allow us to be where we are. Now, God, we ask you now to hold us so close that one can't fall without the other. We come to celebrate the life, the legacy of one that we love and cherish so well. Now, God, when we do this now, we ask you now to keep us close. Remember, down, God, that we are calling on you because there's nobody but you that's able to fix this afterwards. So when the phone calls stop, when the text messages stop, we ask you to keep the family in the palm of your hand. Now, God, as we leave this place to celebrate, we say thank you for all the many blessings and memories. In Jesus' name, amen.
There's a reaction for every action. This is part A. You guys didn't have part A. You guys only had part B. And the narrative, it looks like I was trying to set this man up because you guys don't have part B. I'm giving you part B. I'm giving you what led up to the call. I was physically abused, so I called to protect myself. That's the issue. That's part A. I never had any intentions to get anybody hurt. I was the one that was getting hurt. And I came here to say my truth. That's it, that's all. I don't want no clout. I don't want anything. All these troll pages, y'all don't know me. None of y'all know me at all. At the end of the day, I'm a woman, and I was physically abused multiple times.
In the days after young Scooter's sudden death, a woman named Demetria Spence, better known in some circles as Demi Blanco from the Zeus Network reality series Baddies, went on Instagram Live with a defensive, emotional, and what I would even call fearful tone. The backlash would be immediate. She would become the target of online rage and death threats. And now she was telling her side of the story. According to Spence, she wasn't setting up anyone, not young Scooter and not anybody else. She claimed that she had been abused physically, repeatedly, and the 911 call she made wasn't part of a setup. It was a cry for help. But that's not what she originally told police dispatch. Her original call painted a chaotic and violent scene. Allegations of a naked woman being beaten, dragged into a house, gunshots fired, and even suggestions of sex trafficking involving 7 men and a baby. Now, none of it was true, but by the time the police got to the house on William Nye Drive, Scooter's fate was already set in motion. He would attempt to flee. Why? People can only assume to that. But what is known, according to police, while jumping a fence, he would sever his femoral artery, bleeding to death on his 39th birthday. No one else would be injured. No shots was ever fired, and there was no woman, no child, or even no drugs found, according to police. Just a 911 call, a lie, and young Scooter dead. Authorities would arrest Spence and charge her with transmitting a false public alarm that would result in death. And as crazy as everything I just said might sound, the craziest part is, for her role in the death of young Scooter, she's only facing between 5 and 10 years in prison. The sentencing range for that charge under Georgia law. And as far as that, the courts will have the final say. She would explain her claim for making that fatal call, but there has been no official motive or no confirmed connection between her and the men that she alleged to be inside of that house. But from the outside looking in, it's kind of hard not to wonder if she might have had some kind of relationship going with someone there, maybe even young Scooter himself, with that being just speculation. But the emotional tone of her story kind of suggests a deeper link to that property and the people there. But beyond that, the wildest thing about young Scooter's death to me isn't how he died, but what he most likely survived before that. The near misses, the brushes with death, the police chases, the streets that took out so many before him, and yet he made it through all of that, only to bleed out in a backyard over a false alarm. And while Scooter's death might kind of contribute to some of the people talking about his fall off, I really don't buy it, even though now at this current point, he did lose some key losses. First OG Double D, and now young Scooter. Now, I can't speak to how hard these deaths might hit him emotionally. I'm gonna put my money on you hearing about it in a song rather than him going to cry on Instagram Live to all of his fans. So I absolutely don't think he lost his touch, but what I think he lost was a confidant, his closest ally, a shield, and a loyal voice. Kind of like the time when Nori would insinuate that Future was upset at the Drake and 21 collaboration, leading young Scooter to post in Future's defense that he heard that Noriega had eggplants in his ass, but that's just what he heard, saying that Nori should stop hating for views. Or the time that the NBA would post a pic of Future's son, suggesting that he was his father and not stepfather. Young Scooter was right there. Or even during that time when Russell Wilson was struggling on the field in Denver, and Scooter would post jokingly that Future was trying out for quarterback of the Denver Broncos. That was pretty much the role he played. Loud, fearless, but always loyal. So in no way can I really see it dimming Future's edge. If anything, it'll probably sharpen it. But what he did lose is that one person that said what he never had to and always had his back, even when he didn't ask for it. Now, y'all make sure y'all hit the red bell and subscribe button right under this video so y'all know when it's real trill spill shit is dropping. Y'all get in the comment box below. Y'all let me know what cities we need to go to, what stories we need to tell, what we missed, what we got wrong, all of that. Y'all make sure y'all tap in with me directly on Instagram, Twitter, POP_A_LOT. And until the next play, y'all know how we rocking. Shay's Popalot. Salute the almighty mob.